Welcome back to Bike Ride Reviews. I'm your host Scott with all the information about the latest e-bikes, or in this case, E-Trikes. Bringing an additional wheel to the party, the Addmotor Citytri E-310 offers enhanced stability over two-wheelers. Addmotor says that this is the best folding electric trike on the market. Let's put that to the test. As always, I'll begin this review with a brief overview of Addmotor and the Citytri E-310, followed by a discussion of its pros and cons, and a detailed examination of the components and specifications. I've gathered all the data from our standardized testing, and we'll see how the E-310 fares against other trikes and e-bikes. I'll wrap up everything with my personal experience, and of course the final verdict on the Addmotor Citytri E-310's value and performance. E-bike brand Addmotor was founded in 2011 and is based in El Monte, California, where its flagship store is located. It has many partner shops spread across the USA, plus a couple in Canada that offer after-sales and servicing. Addmotor says it focuses on affordability and comfort. It offers a wide range of electric bikes and trikes, including a mid-drive model, hub-powered designs, and even a semi-recumbent trike. The lineup also includes powerful moped-style bikes, e-folders, cargo e-bikes, and an electric commuter. You can see my review of Addmotor's M66 R7 by clicking the card above or following the link below to the Bike Ride review page. Bike Ride has reviewed 17 Addmotor models, so be sure to check these out on bikeride.com using the links in the description below. Calling the Citytri E-310 the best spec'd e-trike under $2,000, Addmotor describes it as a powerful electric trike, designed for urban commuting and pleasure riding. The Citytri has a 48-volt electrical system, a 750-watt, 90-Nm rear hub motor, and a 20 amp-hour battery, which uses Samsung cells. The E-310 has an aluminum alloy step-through frame. The stem and frame both fold. The Citytri comes in two sizes, the E-310 and E-310 Plus. Both use the same frame, but to accommodate riders of different sizes, the standard E-310 has a 20-inch front wheel and 18-inch rear wheels, while the bigger Plus has a 22-inch wheel up front and 20-inch wheels at the rear, all wearing 2.4-inch wide tires. Today we're reviewing the E-310 Plus. The trike and battery are certified for compliance with UL 2849 and UL 2271. Unfortunately, Addmotor doesn't give any IP rating for the bike's weather resistance, saying only that the bike has water-resistant cable connections and can be ridden in light rain. Addmotor says that the E-310 weighs 86 pounds. On my scale, it comes in at 94 pounds, with the rear rack, cargo bag, and mirrors installed. It's rated to carry a rider up to 280 pounds, plus up to 80 pounds of gear on the rack. The Citytri's top speed is 20 miles per hour, using the throttle or that 7-level pedal assistance. Not only can this trike's rear rack carry a useful 80 pounds of cargo, but it's mounted down low, making it easy to access and carry substantial loads without needing to worry about balance the way you would on a two-wheeler. A parking brake locks the rear wheels, so the trike doesn't roll away while you're loading it. Our test model included the optional zip-up rear cargo bag, which is currently $99 on the Addmotor website. Addmotor also offers an optional front rack to add more cargo capacity. I was surprised by the E-310's ability to climb hills with very little pedal effort. The 750-watt motor has 90 Nm of torque, and it peaks at 1,440 watts, giving it plenty of steam up hills. However, the single-speed drivetrain's lack of gearing range forces you to use either a high pedal assist level or the throttle when you're climbing hills. This really drains the battery, a problem that I'll be discussing more in the cons coming up. Trikes are inherently more stable than two-wheel bikes at low speeds over level ground. As long as you avoid tight turns and excessive speed, the three wheels remain firmly planted on the ground, significantly reducing your chances of tipping over. This is a great asset for anyone who needs the extra comfort and confidence that a three-wheeled platform provides. Just don't exceed the trike's limits by riding over uneven terrain where the bike could tilt or flip, and avoid high speeds or hard cornering where you could lift a wheel up off the ground. This E-310's single-speed drivetrain is geared too low for high speeds and too high for the trike's weight. The pedal cadence becomes uncomfortable around 12 miles per hour. And over 15 miles per hour, you're forced to rely on the throttle. At lower speeds, the combination of a 38-tooth chainring and 16-tooth rear sprocket leaves you reliant on the motor, especially when you're riding uphill. Even on level ground, pedaling this trike without motor assistance is no fun. It's a good thing that the E-310 packs a 20 amp hour battery, as you'll have to use the motor a lot, and you'll definitely want to get home before the battery dies. Which brings us to the subject of battery range. Addmotor claims a range of up to 90 miles for this bike, using pedal assist level 1. However, the bike's heavy weight and lack of gears make it hard to get anywhere using only pedal assist 1. In our range test, the E-310 managed only 27 miles. Now, even though this was a pedal assist 4 range test, I had to bump it up to pedal assist 7 for the steeper hills, or else I wouldn't make it. So despite this bike's huge battery, if your journeys include any hills, you won't be getting anywhere close to the stated range. If you read online feedback on Addmotor's bikes, you'll probably come across complaints about poor quality control. Unfortunately, my experience with the E-310 was no different. In fact, the problem I experienced was downright shocking. Just 2 miles into my first test ride, which was on level ground, so I wasn't pushing hard, the 6 screws that fixed the main drive sprocket to the rear differential disappeared. I started to hear a rattle from the back, and then suddenly I had no drive, making it impossible to go anywhere using both the pedals and the throttle. There was no way to perform a roadside repair, so I had to walk the trike 2 miles back to my starting point. Addmotor confirmed these screws should have been properly tightened at the factory, and that this is not a maintenance item consumers should need to check before riding the bike. This was a serious problem, and frustrating to fix. I had to disassemble the trike, remove the rear brake calipers, hammer out the drive shafts from the differential on both sides, and then replace the screws before reassembling the unit. The fact that something so simple and critical went so wrong, especially on a test bike, raises serious questions about Addmotor's quality control, and lends credence to the many complaints online. Some folding bikes are designed so well that folding the bike becomes a joyful part of the experience. The Brompton is an excellent example of this. Addmotor Citytri, however, is the opposite. The folding frame and stem must surely add to the E-310's weight, but they don't really enhance the bike's utility. The trike is heavy, and there's no mechanism to stop it unfolding, which makes it hard work when lifting it into a vehicle. I was able to fit the unfolded bike into my SUV by just removing the front wheel, so arguably the folding frame isn't worth the added cost and weight. The Cititri E-310 is a Class 2 electric trike, intended for commuting, hauling cargo, and urban pleasure rides. The step-through frame makes getting on and off easy, especially with the parking brake set. The seat has a backrest, and the riding position is straight-backed. The height-adjustable handlebar makes it easy to dial in the perfect fit. The E-310 has an 80mm coil suspension fork up front and no suspension at the rear. As I already detailed, the E-310 comes in 2 builds, each with different sized wheels to accommodate riders of different heights. Addmotor says the standard E-310 fits riders from 5'1" to 5'9", and the E-310 Plus, which we're testing today, fits riders from 5'3" to 6'1". Both are available in 5 colors: blue, green, gray, red, and the bright yellow, seen here on our test bike. The Cititri is rated to carry riders up to 280 pounds, plus 80 pounds of cargo in the rear rack, and a front rack is also available. The E-310 stem folds in half, bringing the handlebars down beside the front wheel. The frame folds in the middle, reducing the trike's length to help with loading it into a vehicle. However, despite its ability to fold, the Cititri is still bulky and heavy. It's likely to fit only in vans, pickup trucks, and SUVs with the rear seats folded down. And weighing in at 94 pounds on my scale, the E-310 isn't easy to lift, especially as it tries to unfold when you lift it. The E-310 has a 48-volt electrical system, a 750-watt 90 Nm motor, and a 20 amp-hour or 960 watt-hour battery. The E-310 has UL 2849 and UL 2271 certification, but there's no IP rating. Addmotor says it's water resistant. The battery is mounted behind the seat post and is secured by a key-operated lock. Before you can turn the bike on at the control pad, you have to long press the power button on the battery. There's a half-twist throttle on the right grip, and pedal assist is managed by a cadence sensor. The bike ships with a top speed of 20 miles per hour for both throttle and pedal assist. The integrated throttle is not easily removed, but it does have a button to turn it on or off, preventing unintentional throttle use. Both versions of the Cititri come with 2.4-inch wide tires, with a knobby tread that works well on pavement and provided reasonable traction on the smooth dirt paths that I rode. The tires have no puncture protection, and they aren't tubeless ready. All three wheels use nutted axles. The E-310 has Addmotor branded mechanical disc brakes on all three wheels, and aluminum brake levers. The rear brakes can be locked on by holding a button with the brake lever squeezed. This stops the bike from rolling, and it's useful for getting on and off the trike, or loading up the cargo basket. Squeezing the brake lever automatically releases the lock. As I've already mentioned, there's only one gear, so the bike has no shifter or derailleur. The motor and drivetrain power the rear wheels via a differential, allowing the bike to corner smoothly. The cockpit features rubberized grips, aluminum brake levers, a 2.75-inch monochrome LCD display mounted in the center of the handlebar, and a 6-button control pad by the left grip. The half-twist throttle is built into the right grip. Other touchpoints include a well-padded saddle with an adjustable backrest and plastic platform pedals. Given the Cititri's single-speed drivetrain, I was expecting a dismal performance in the hill climb test. But this bike really surprised me. The motor supplied plenty of power, and the bike was able to climb hills using mainly throttle power. This powerful motor allowed the trike to compete with other e-bikes and exceeded my expectations. The E-310's 750-watt 90 Nm motor easily outperforms all the other trikes I've tested. With its 500-watt motor, the Mooncool TK1 trike was 28 seconds slower up our small hill climb. The E-310 also nearly matched the Himaway Zebra D5, which climbed the hill 1 second faster. However, the E-310 fell short of the Snapcycle R1 Pro and the Fido T2, which were both significantly faster up the hill, despite having similar weights and motor outputs to the Cititri. The medium elevation hill test was even more surprising, as the E-310 maintained its position in the middle of the pack. It beat the Mooncool TK1 by 25 seconds, and the Himaway Zebra D5 by 6 seconds. But it was 9 seconds behind the Snapcycle R1 Pro, and 19 seconds slower than the Fido T2. The E-310's powerful motor gets it to 20 miles per hour from a standstill in an impressive 8 seconds, using the throttle. However, using pedal assist takes 10 seconds. This is due partly to the slight lag in the cadence sensor and to the unhelpful gearing of the single-speed drivetrain, which requires a lot of hard work to get the bike moving, and it renders pedaling useless past 15 miles per hour. In the range test, the E-310 took 1 hour and 32 minutes to travel 26.4 miles and gain 981 feet of elevation. This is unimpressive for a 20 amp-hour battery, and it puts this trike firmly at the back of the pack. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't able to test the Cititri's range using only pedal assist, because ghost pedaling above 15 miles per hour meant I sometimes needed the throttle. All of our comparison bikes had better tested battery range than the E310. Even the Mooncool TK1 squeezed out an additional 4 miles out of its 14.5 amp-hour battery, albeit at a slower average speed of 14.93 miles per hour. So the E310 is not the trike for extended journeys at high speeds. If you're a slow and steady rider and you don't live in a hilly area, you can get more range by riding in pedal assist 1 or 2, which caps the speed at 12 miles per hour. The E310 stopped from 20 miles per hour in a respectable distance of 15 feet. From a safety standpoint, this is more than sufficient, and is better than all of our comparison bikes, which only have 2 tires, and therefore less grip when braking. The only other trike I've tested, the Mooncool TK1, stopped in just 11 feet, but that was from 15.5 miles per hour, which is the speed limit of that bike's motor. So this isn't really a fair comparison. When the E310 is limited to 15.5 miles per hour too, its brakes stop it in around 11 to 12 feet. I don't have any problem balancing on a bike, and I find regular 2-wheeled bikes easy to use, so I'm not a fan of trikes. Despite my bias against trikes, I was still impressed by the E310's stability at speed and the motor's power. At low speeds, the Citytri is easy to ride, as long as you avoid sharp turns. Getting aboard the Addmotor and loading cargo is easy, thanks to the trike's natural stability, especially with that parking brake engaged. However, I found the riding position cramped, and sitting directly over the pedals with a straight back made pedaling uncomfortable. At 6 feet tall, I had the seat at its highest position, which tracks with the upper end of the 5'3" to 6'1" stated fit range for the E310 Plus. And it means that anyone my size or taller is going to feel cramped on this bike. The Citytri handles like other trikes I've ridden. It's stable enough at high speeds, in a straight line, and during low speed maneuvers. But sharp turns and cornering at speed are no fun. The inside wheel is prone to lifting off the ground in turns, and over uneven terrain, you can tip the bike over if you're not careful. As with all tricycles, the E310 is not designed for daredevils or high-speed maneuvering, so keep it slow and controlled and you won't have a problem. If you need the additional low-speed stability of a trike, you'll probably enjoy this bike's handling. If you're a keen cyclist or you enjoy high-speed maneuvers, you'll probably be better off with a 2-wheel e-bike. It's worth noting here that many e-trikes are limited to 14 miles per hour because of safety concerns. I wonder if Addmotor should do the same. The E310's 6-button control pad is mounted by the left grip. The power button is at the bottom, and above this are the up and down buttons, which control the assist level and the settings in the advanced menu. And at the top, you'll find the horn button between the turn signal buttons. The 2.75-inch monochrome display sits in the middle of the handlebar, and most of the information you need is easily seen at a glance. Underneath the display unit is a USB port for powering devices. It's protected by a rubber cover, but is the older USB-A format, rather than the USB-C that's used by many devices now. Battery charge is a 5-bar graphic in the top left corner. The odometer is next to this, with trip and lifetime readings that can be toggled by tapping the power button. Below these is the speed display, which toggles between average, maximum, and current speed when you tap the power button as well. Under this, the screen shows which assist level you're in. Motor output is shown in watts in the bottom of the display, with left and right turn signal icons on each side. Before you can turn the bike on, you have to press and hold the battery's power button. The battery's 4 LED battery level indicator lights should light up. And next you hold down the power button on the display. If the display flashes and turns off again, or it doesn't respond, press and hold the battery button again to ensure that it's powered up. It can sometimes be a little finicky. The bike has a headlight and a tail light, which are activated by pressing and holding the up button when the bike is turned on. And the rear light has brake activation and turn signals. The advanced menu gives access to 7 settings, but using it isn't intuitive, and setting 7 appears to do nothing. You enter the advanced menu by pressing and holding the up and down buttons together for 3 seconds. You then use the up and down buttons to change each option, and you press the power button to move to the next option. To exit the advanced menu, hold the power button down. Setting 1 is a reset. Setting 2 is wheel size. Setting 3 adjusts the top speed between 12 and 40 km per hour. Setting 4 is the backlight. Setting 5 is units. Setting 6 is the USB activate and deactivate option. And setting 7 is unknown. It has no action and just displays 6317 on the display. That's our review of the Addmotor Citytri E-310, which proved to be a stable and surprisingly powerful trike. I also enjoyed the responsive motor, and I found that loading cargo and getting on and off the trike was easy. Well, at least after I repaired it. I was not impressed with the quality control, or lack thereof, which led to the problem with the differential and sprocket. Addmotor was fairly quick to reply and send me the replacement parts. But still, it took around 4 weeks overall to get the parts, and it was a hassle to repair the trike, which I shouldn't have had to do in the first place. So if you're in the market for an E-Trike, the Addmotor Citytri E-310 offers some great features and value. But it really doesn't suit tall riders, or anyone who needs extended range in hilly terrain. And then there's the question of build quality and reliability. What are your thoughts about E-Trikes? Do you value the stability or prefer the maneuverability and speed of two-wheelers? Let me know in the comments below. And if you own this bike, how do my findings compare to your experience? It's great to hear from you all, and I enjoy chatting in the comments. So let's keep it up. Plus, if you're still looking for the perfect ride, why not check out what we have to offer on bikeride.com? It's got tons of reviews, our curated best bike lists, awesome cycling events near you, repair guides, and interactive forums. I'll be back soon with another e-bike review, and I hope you'll be back to join me. Thanks for watching.